Welcome. It is week 12, the number of my hockey jersey growing up. So if anyone sends me a hockey jersey, it's got to have number 12 on it. Or like, I don't know, Ron Hextall's number or something. That'd be good. It's week 12. Had an amazing weekend this weekend. I feel like I did everything. We had the TGL Grand Fondo. It's not even the Grand. We had TGL Spring Fondo. Friends of the show and former guests Pete Hitzman and Joe Lawhorn did a amazing job. An amazing job setting up routes, setting up help from Roll Bikes and Team Hungry to handle some rest stops for us, put together amazing routes, and I had, frankly, the best time. John, yeah?
Excellent.
It was so much fun. The weather looked kind of concerning. Everybody was hemming and hawing. We were all talking on back channels, trying to figure out, like, what should we do? We decided we were going with it. And you know what? It was the right gamble because the weather turned out to be beautiful. We were all in short sleeves and shorts. Like, we were all just in regular kit by the end of it. Pockets were full of stuff, but, we had a great time. Did 100K. The roads were crazy. The climbs were amazing. The views out of Scioto were gorgeous, and it made me feel renewed about riding season and kind of gave me a spring checkup, right? Like where I'm at, where my fitness is, how that looks. I had a good day on the bike. John did too. We both felt really strong. That's a good measure of where we're at. Now, I get to just relax and ride all the rest of this time because I don't have any races really till July. John has stuff to do, so he has to work harder. But at any rate, good baseline for us. We had a lot of fun. But while I was riding, I was thinking a lot about the community that we're building. And it's not a community of people who are, one specific thing. It's not just people who ride on the road, and it's not just people who ride gravel or people who ride mountain bikes or people who ride cross. It is a community of people that give. And it was really interesting because we were riding, like, it was literally like the who's who of people who've been on the show in this area. Jen Malik, Ryan Gamm, Pete Hitzman. Obviously, Joe was gone off the front with all the little fast kids. They were just all gone. But we were riding in this big group, and there was this, great sense of camaraderie. And I had amazing conversations, like with Rod Vesper, who's just exceptional, has really stepped up to lead some of the OMBC stuff, the Ohio Mountain Biking League for NICA in this area with Jen. And just talking to these people and realizing that building community comes from doing events like this, comes from spending time around each other, comes from being in places that aren't always a competitive thing, that aren't always people trying to one-up each other, but it is that feeling of riding your bike with your friends and getting into trouble. And I freaking walked a massive, like the second to last climb was brutal. I don't have the gearing for it, and I was smoked. So I got off my bike and I walked up it. But you know what? No shame in that. Never met a hill I can't walk up, as my friend Frank Henson says. But it was fun because when we got to the top, everybody was like, yeah, that thing sucks. We created moments and community surrounded by bikes. And that has always been kind of what we've used as the jumping off point of creating these relationships with you, the Pebbles, and with our guests. Bikes are part of the community that I choose to engage with and that John chooses to engage with, and we hope that you do as well. But you have to think beyond that and think about, if bikes are important to me for creating community, how do I take that same feeling and package it and put it in something that I can give to other people? And being in that group of people who we were riding with just reminded me of how much each one of them, as we were riding, I was just kind of going through this list of like, oh, well, this person's done these things, this person does this, to think about the effort and the time they put into intentionally creating community. It was so inspiring to me to get back to doing what we do here through doing these and through doing the podcast and our big series that we're working on for this summer. This is what we try to do, is inspire you to be engaged in creating community in your community, taking a page out of someone else's book and saying, that is an important piece, and I'm going to bring it here and I'm going to make it work for us. You may have to tweak it, you may have to change it, you may have to do different stuff, but you're going to build things in your area and build things that grow the cycling community, because you know what that does is creates friendships. And what it does is creates depth of community that allows a community to find its soul and flourish. And I am so thankful that we have this outlet to do that. And I'm so thankful for all the people who are on this journey with us and who are working towards this together. And I was really reminded by this event this weekend where everybody pitched in to make something happen. We had a big group ride. I was reminded by that, and I was encouraged by that. And I want you to look this week and think about what you can be doing to intentionally create community around cycling in your area, and find ways to connect with that. And hit us up if you have like suggestions or want to bounce an idea off us. John and I love talking about ideas. May not work here, we may not be able to do it here, but if you've got an idea and you want some advice, hit us up. You know how to get a hold of us. Subscribe down here, hit the bell. Maybe I might have gotten a bell, and just get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you and hear about how you're creating community around cycling in your area. Talk to you soon. Cheers.
Hey, Doug. It's episode 13.
It's episode 13.